Hi guys, got a request from Jboss2001 Gaming to do a 9-volt boat. Well, I'm not quite sure what the significance of a 9-volt boat is, other than we can just use a 9-volt battery on it. So I've been in the shed and I've carved a bit of scrap styrofoam insulation board into the shape of a boat. I'm going to use the motor from my old boat, because that's a hairdryer motor, and that one takes 9 volts okay. I've got a 9-volt battery there. So there we go. Got my fan on at one end of the bench and I've got the window open at the other, because I'm carving the hole using my soldering iron. I put a good sized hole through there for the shaft to go through. I've used some plastic insulation off some power cable to connect the shaft of the motor to the shaft of the propeller. It also gives me a little bit of flexibility in case I don't line things up quite right. Then I've got a bit of thin plastic tubing there that's just the right size for the shaft to go through. So I can glue the motor in place, and I can glue that plastic tube in place and use plenty of hot glue so it fills up the big hole that I've drilled through. Then we can attach the propeller on the back, making sure that we've got enough room to clear the bottom of the hull. That's the motor in place, and propeller tube hot glued in place, propeller in place. So we need a rudder at the back here somewhere so we can give it some sort of direction. The battery will fit in there quite nicely. What I think I'll do is I'll make up a little, we need a plug or connector, but I'll put a little switch on it so we can switch it on and off. I've done it before in another video, so I'll put a link to that, but I'll do it now anyway. What we need is an old 9-volt battery that's dead. We strip it open. Be aware that you could get some sharp edges here, so mind your fingers. So there we have a convenient connector. Down here, this was a little door alarm, but it's got a convenient switch on it. So I'm going to unsolder that switch and solder it onto the back of this connector, and then connect the wires on that are going to go to the motor, so we can actually switch it on and off using that switch. Right, this is the connector off the old battery. I'm putting it on the new battery just to hold it still. I've got a file here just to clean the edges a bit so that the solder takes. don't want to hold the soldering on there too long, because the black bit is plastic and it will melt. But you do want to make sure that the solder's taken properly. Otherwise it will just come loose. Right. Now this switch that's taken well. I'll just bend that leg over a little bit. There we go, so it's clear. And then this is the connector I'm going to put on it. Okay, so the positive is going to go to the positive of the battery via that switch. Oh, sorry, that was just out of camera shot. I wasn't looking at the camera. So there we go. I'll take it off again. Right, so we'll connect it to that leg of the switch. And then the negative to the negative of the battery. So now we have a switchable 9-volt battery. So there's our battery. I'll just cover this with hot glue. Flotation test. It floats. Floats a bit high actually. May want to add a bit of weight to that. I'll adjust the rudder, see if we can get it to go around in tight circles. So that fulfills the request. I've left myself plenty of room on it that I could actually put radio control on it if I wanted. So I might do that later. I'll just put a freshly charged battery on there. I think that's probably more like what whatever his name was wanted to see. A slightly more powerful motor. I think it's made its point. So there we go. A 9-volt boat. Job done. Propeller, in case you're wondering, comes from one of these garden ornaments. I get them from Poundland or 99p shop, but they happen to have a handy plastic propeller in the middle, or fan blade.